Lost in my feelings, running out of love, trying to get in my feelings. My feelings, yeah. This shit really fucked up. Yeah. Lost in my feelings, running out of love. Sometimes I get in my feelings, codeine in my blood. But I gotta stand on business. Okay, life is like a chess game. Gotta think it through. How to make your next move your best move. What's up with you? Shot my whole truck up. Never let them fuck up. Stay out with that shit. So many war rooms, so many nights all alone. And you can wave your white flag all you want. I want you to know. What's good with you? I'm gonna get you back for that one. Pay you back for that one. I'm gonna pay you back for that one. What's good with y'all? I'm gonna get you back for that one. Yeah, I mean, I can't feel the pain. Smiling through my pain, like dancing in the rain. Yeah. You smiling through your pain. Oh, I appreciate it. So many war rooms, so many nights all alone. I want you to know. I gotta pay you back for that one. I'm gonna get you back for that one. I gotta get you back for that one. I'm gonna get you back for that one. What's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. You know, they say a lot of things is changing. You know, things are happening fast. A lot of people don't even know that their DNA is changing too. So a lot of people don't even know that their DNA is a part of the change that's taking place. A lot of people don't even know that. And you know, I don't even think a lot of people care to look it up. I don't think a lot of people look it up. Why is it not in here? We were one day, a moment in time, and it's I never lasted. That you will always be mine. Okay, so one of the important things that I want to speak on is the changing that's happening with your DNA. So, like, our DNA is changing. Uh, which video? So our DNA is changing. Things is happening with our DNA, right? If we was to get into this, let me get to the good part. So if we get into the base codes, acceleration codes, right? Let's listen to this part. Yeah, we'll get into that. I'll get into that too. Thank you for sending me those. To link it all together. Oh, the cat on the porch. All right, landing over there. Cat on the porch. I think that way. Okay. Now, to a lot of you guys and ladies, this might sound like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. So I'm just going to break it down for you, right? Your DNA is operating on two spheres inside your vessel. So on one side, you have masculine energy, right? Which is considered to be one of the diurnal codes, right? This is your acceleration code, right? And then on the other side, you have base codes, which is the feminine energy, right? So your 12 base codes and your 12 acceleration codes, they come together into that double helix form that you see. And that's what makes up your DNA, right? So when you get into the RN and all of that stuff that's in the DNA, right? This is where it tells you that you get majority of this from your mom, right? Not when the seed is planted. When the seed is planted, you get some other stuff, but that's during the time of conception. And I know a lot of y'all thinking, like, why is this so important? This is important because this is actually the walk of Christ. The story that was given in the biblical text was a walk of the seed inside the vessel of man. So Christ was the seed that was inside the vessel of man. And then upon conception, he was released from his father and entered his mother, the womb, and then after 3 days he rose inside of her. This is why the book of Revelations tell you about overcoming a second unaliving, right? Because the first unaliving is from the time that we leave our father and enter our mother, right? Now, one would say you can get in touch with your acoustic records. All of this information is provided, so on and so forth. But you have to be putting knowledge in your brain, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Okay. So let's hear this part right here. It's just a little clip it. All right. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? It said the cosmic ether, which is sourced only from the mother, right? This is where these programs come in. Why women are so important, why the vessel of women is so important. Y'all can't hear the volume. It says, however, in the RNA. Y'all can't hear that? Let me stop sharing the screen real quick. Hold on. Let me do it this way and see if y'all can hear it. Not that screen. This one. All right, let's see if y'all can hear it now. One way y'all can hear it.
However, in RNA, the nitrogenous base is made up of nucleic acids, cytosine, C, guanine, G, adenine, A, and uracil, U. Also, each of the RNA nucleic acids is connected to the elemental substance of the planet as air, water, fire, and earth. In both DNA and RNA, the mitochondrial DNA serves as the fifth principal element of cosmic ether, which is sourced only from the mother.
Did y'all hear that? If so, then we got to share the screen in order for y'all to hear it. Somebody real quick tell me, did you hear it? Did you hear it? Did you hear it? I know you heard it. Okay. All right. So this is why the mother's energy is so important, because this is where your cosmic energy comes from. So during the time of, carrying the baby, these are the energies that are getting put inside the vessel, right? So it's very important. It's changing your DNA. It has everything to do with your kundalini, your chakras, all of this stuff, right? All of this stuff has something to do with the frequency, what's going on with your vessel, how it's changing, how the moon is changing it, so on and so forth, right? Now, it has to do with the expansion of consciousness. First you have to realize that you do have a conscious, then you have to realize that your conscious is expanding. Think about like waves just coming in and going back out, coming in and going back out. That's kind of how your conscious is vibrating or moving through your body, right? And it's affecting each and every last one of your chakras, which is affecting your life water, which is putting people in certain operations at this time. This is why you got to start looking at the hue that's in man. So there's hue that's in man, and that hue that is in man is broken down into different variations of densities and dimensions. So each hue that is around your vessel, it's a representation of some said dimensions, okay, in the form of a consciousness. Now, let's see if y'all can hear this. Hopefully, y'all hear it.
For human beings, these consciousness bodies exist throughout the densities and are aspects of the higher self and light body. These aspects are called the stations of identity. In the first harmonic universe in 1D minus 2D minus 3D exists the three layers of the personality matrix or incarnated human. In the second harmonic universe in 4D minus 5D minus 6D exists the three layers of the soul matrix. In the third harmonic universe,
you asked what is hue? Hue is the energy or the water, because everything is basically air, a solid or form of a liquid or water. So there's air that is around your physical body. Some people call it Christ consciousness, some people call it ether, some people call it fire water. But around your physical body, there is a aura that is around your physical body that is constantly being affected. This alters your memories. You might have timelines, you might have dreams of a Hercules timeline, different, you know, times that you might have had fragments of this memory of you existing, so on and so forth. So this is where uh, timeline fragmentation comes in, manipulation of the mind, so on and so forth.
Universe in 7D minus 8D minus 9D exists the three layers of the monadic matrix. In the fourth harmonic universe in 10D minus 11D minus 12D exists the three layers of the Christos avatar matrix.
Now in the 3D, this is where your physical body is at, right? In the 3D, right? This is where your physical body is at. Now, in the 4D, 5D, this is where your soul matrix lies, right? Now, when you get to the 7D, 8D, and 9D, this is where your mind is going to break off into different timeline memories. So those timeline memories might consist of, uh, you know, the time of Hercules. This is where the mythologies come in the mononic matrix, right? This is where all these mythologies of Greek mythology and all of these things come in that they tell you it's not, it didn't happen, it happened. All of this stuff is in these parts of your chakra systems. When you align with your Kundalini and you allow your Kundalini energy to rise up your vessel, this is where a lot of it is going to affect the mind, at where all these timelines is going to be pressed inside the memory of your conscious. So you would have to take that battle with inside yourself. This is not a battle that you can fight outside of yourself. And we'll get into the Jaguar right stuff in just a minute, but let's just, put some knowledge back into the atmosphere for a second.
The spirit body of the monad is only consciously aware of the contents of the soul when it is connected to the soul. This is the same as when the physical body is disconnected from the soul. The conscious mind does not remember her, cannot feel the soul. When the spirit body is disconnected from the soul, the spirit consciousness can no longer remember the soul, and becomes unconscious of the soul's memory of existence. This unconsciousness has the impact of soul fragmentation. How this manifests in the first world, the lowest plane on earth, is insanity. Schizophrenia, catatonia, psychotic break, and all other forms of split consciousness. How this manifests in the second world is chaotic dream states of astral delusions, holographic bits of fragmented pictures of millions of storylines. These pictures intersect without coherence or cohesion, just jumbled messages of dreamy, disconnected fantasy images and impressions. This manifests in the third world in much the same way as an anesthetic puts the consciousness to sleep, similar to hypnotic like trance or sleep.
See, that would be the thing right there. We would have to connect it back to that. You get what I'm saying? So your spirit body is connected back to the conscious or the hue or the source. So your spirit body, that's where your star cell comes in. It's right above your head. This is where they put the story of Christmas together with the good kid in the house putting the star on the tree, so on and so forth. So this is where a lot of that stuff is, it comes from, and it comes out of this uh stuff like that.
This is precision perfected. From the category leader comes another breakthrough in technology.
Now, this is what I wanted to talk about with Jaguar, right? And appreciate somebody for sending me this. I've been looking for it. So right here, this is where they're trying to manipulate, history, right? They got Beverly come out here with this other woman, right? And this is, you see, they're part of Ascension Through Consciousness, and Beverly has a whole Ascension Academy, right? Awakening Academy, right? Now, this is where I keep on saying, like, this is the manipulation. They put these false images out there and they make it seem like these false images are part of the ascension process, the truth. This being that they have on the screen is not real, right? This is something that they drew up, right, based off of their minds and how they wanted to perceive Jaguar Wright, right? So they drew up this image. When you're talking about these different beings that they're speaking on, they live in different densities. So they don't appear in the form of material. You get what I'm saying? So when you're going into different density versus dimensions, whatever they want to title them, these beings are taking different forms and different shapes because we, the third dimension, we are the form of physical. You get what I'm saying? But they did this, with Jaguar Wright, and they're like, oh, Jaguar, come on, we're going to tell you about yourself. We're going to tell you about yourself.
Here's the night.
You know,
Saudi Arabia, a few weeks back, we haven't officially gotten to the bottom of whether or not that's true.
Of the
understanding your okay, relax. Homeland Security or whatever your freaking name is.
I want y'all to listen to this joke. I hope y'all can hear it, but listen to this joke that little Yum Yum makes. Now, mind you, they're supposed to be telling her about her DNA. They're telling Jaguar Wright, hey, we needed a sample of your DNA. They did the same thing with Big Homie CC. This is how I know they're all working in operation, right? Pick up what you're putting down. Right. And this is why I say, like, this is why they're playing with us, right? Because this is what they say. They say, Jaguar Wright sent her DNA to Beverly, so Beverly and this other lady can do a study on their DNA and tell them about the off-world DNA that they have, right? So Big Homie CC did the same thing, sent his DNA off or whatever. And they act like it's ancestry.com, but this is for spirituality, right? So they're telling Jaguar, these are the beings that you represent, Lumeria, so much and so forth. Jaguar never looked into the energy that's coming out. Jaguar never. This is why she's being affected. Listen, you don't play with your life water. I don't know if she sent it off. This is what they did. You see it at the top of the screen. It says off-world DNA results. Right? You see it say off-world DNA results. But listen to Lil Yum Yum and this joke that he makes.
All right, just chill out.
Yeah,
we're relaxing. All right. So we'll wait for Jag to get back from the noodle run. And
don't mind me. This is gonna be quick.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry. I got you. I'm just looking in the side chat.
I'm getting older now. I have to keep a certain schedule with my eating.
Yeah, that's right.
ain't that the truth?
They keep forgetting I am not a kid.
Yeah, I don't want you holding any hot saucepans full of boiling water when you start getting hit by revelations from all the off-world people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen to what he just said. This is the jokes that they be making right in front of Jaguar, and this is why they laugh at Jaguar. Because she has no sense of care about other people. She spits out all of this stuff about, all of this stuff, but They don't have they're laughing at Jaguar right in her face. He just made a joke regarding holding a hot pan of water and getting hit with revelations. Oh, I don't want you to have a hot saucepan of water when I hit you with these revelations from Offworld. Come on, man. Hey, TikTok, if y'all want to know what we're looking at, go over to Ralph the Wise. That's Ralph D.A. Wise on YouTube. Okay, we are on YouTube. We're on 2 different pages on YouTube, and we on Twitch. So make sure y'all follow one of the other pages. I still strongly believe TikTok's not going anywhere, but you know, if you still want to follow, keep up with me, you know, go to one of those pages on YouTube. The humor was making fun of something that happened to a black person as if that's the joke. That is the joke. He's making fun of a black woman, you know, in front of a black woman, right? That's the joke to them. They think we don't care about our own people. Like they think America is just, they don't even care. You know, this gladiator school, they laugh at each other's, you know, whoopings and unalivings and right.
I am a skilled chef tornado.
It's so
I know
funny
how
when
to keep myself
back to the
protected.
camera.
Do you see the scars on my?
Look, he laughed about it. You know, he's still laughing about it. But let's go into details of this, right? She's sitting there eating. This is what they tell her, right? They tell her that she has like hybrid Atlantis, Lumerian, and this is her, right? Now listen to how this lady keeps on reading this word, Nages, right? Watch how she keep reading it.
With Jag, and similarly to the avians as well.
All right. So that is quite a substantial.
Really.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we had, it's a very unusual to get a mix of the Atlanteans and their Lemurians. So the Atlanteans was very, very strong, but it was the Lemurians were there as well. But I think the absolutely key point here is it's the Atlanteans that is resonating and is stronger in this lifetime. So the Lemurians were there quite strongly, but
see, now I want y'all to understand something. When you get into the story of Lumeria and the person that wrote it, I got the book right here, right? There's nothing about what she's talking about, right? Lumerians was full of knowledge and peace because they understood the energy and the power of what they uphold it, right? So Lumerians was sworn to bring peace. I mean, not the Lumerians, the Atlanteans, right? Now the Atlanteans shared their knowledge with Lumeria, right? Now they changed their name quite a few, so they became the Athenians, right? So they tell you about the story of the Athenians and the Atlanteans, right? But before the Athenians became the Athenians, they was the land of Mu, or the, you know, Queen Mu with Lumeria. Now these are 2 places. One is under the Atlantic Ocean, roughly around the Bermuda Triangle. That's the Atlantis, also known as the Poseidon Island. The other one is Lumeria, and that's right up under Hawaii and all of those mountain ranges, because Hawaii and, you know, Maui and all of that is like mountain ranges. So over there you have Lumeria, and these energies come out of these places. This goes back to 40-year school of Egypt, when Lumeria started sharing knowledge with the Egyptians, right? So this was considered the marriage right here. When they started giving knowledge, you know, old knowledge from forbidden knowledge, whatever you want to call it, and sharing it with these different species on the continent, right? And this is where we started, you know, messing with the manipulation of, like, you know, semen and so on and so forth. This is where, you know, Homo erectus, Homo sapien, Homo sapioid, Neanderthal, this is where all this comes in, right? But she wants to manipulate the knowledge and change it up. This is where I say they rewrite history. because they manipulate the knowledge and then change it up to benefit them. How is it that these three people are sitting here telling Jaguar about her blood and her lineage, right? If we know that Caucasian was not created into the 1600s, right? That means the history of whatever is in Jaguar extends further back than their own history. But they're going to tell Jaguar about her history. And she's just sitting here like, I'm not going to argue with y'all. Whatever y'all say is right. Whatever y'all say is right.
But there was the clarification that needed to be made that the Atlanteans is the DNA within Jag that actually resonates, the most. Then we have the amphibians, who I think we may have picked up before, but there was certainly different traits and different abilities within there that resonated with.
Now, I want y'all to look at this screen. She just said that the Atlantean blood is what resonated more in Jaguar, right? But look at this screen right here. This screen is showing you that the Lemurian and the Atlantean blood is both split up in one piece of this pie, right? That's this piece right here. The main thing that is in here is Liana hybrid, right? That takes up more than half, right? But they tell Jaguar that the Lemurian and the Atlantean the Atlantean is more in her DNA. This is all false. This is all false stuff that they're even telling her. They're not even telling her it according to what the documents that they're showing on the screen. They're not even, telling her the truth. And that's based off of what we're looking at right here on the screen. You can see just based off of down here, which one is taking up more of this pie. You can just see, just based off the key, which one is taking up more of this pie. But she's telling Jaguar, oh, your Atlantean is taking up more of your man. This is bullcrap.
Jag, and similarly to the avians as well.
All right. So that is quite a substantial chunk of the pie. For one. Was there any sub DNAs present, or was it just the dominant main DNAs that came through?
No, we also have, there is the detected one. So thanks for picking me up on that, Ron. Very much so. There's the elementals, Palladians, and Nagas, but they were very, very tiny.
Yeah.
Listen to what she's saying. She said that the elementals, the Palladians, and the Nagas was very, very tiny, right? This she's trying to make it seem like what they found in her DNA was pieces of this stuff and so on and so forth. These are look, if I show y'all about the Palladians, we could talk about that all day. If I show y'all about elementals, we can talk about that all day, right? Even the word Nagas, she's pronouncing it wrong, but she's saying like they were very, 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 very small. They were this is a whole species that we're talking about when we're talking about Palladians. You're going to say the Palladians was very, 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 very. He's just making this up as they go along.
I mean, very, very tiny. That the first being the hybrid was very much took over that percentage, and as we've just gone through with the Atlanteans and Lemurians, but those percentages with the elementals, Palladians, and Nagas were very tiny.
Tiny. All right.
But they are there, and they are there to be noted.
So,
All
Jag,
right.
any questions yet? Have we got any questions from you at the moment?
I mean, no, I've always known I was different.
Oh, Jag, it's
Very
coming.
different.
It's coming.
Very, very different.
Always known I
It's
was
coming.
different.
Don't you worry. It's coming.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk Palladians, right? Now, what they're showing you is that, right? But let's Let's look it up. Let's look it up for ourselves. There ain't nothing better than looking up something for yourself. Would y'all agree? TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. Love is love. Namaste. I say salutations. Appreciate y'all for being here. Everyone who is on TikTok, please go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube if you would like to see what it is that we're talking about. All right, so now listen to what she said, and then listen to this. Okay. Now, the reason why they know this history and this knowledge is because this ties to certain Cherokee legends, and this ties to a lot of the stuff in America. You hear me? This ties to a lot of the history of America with the Indians, a lot of the history of the Mayans, the Incas, the Aztecs. They all, gave their knowledge and books, allegedly, to the Catholics. So they all converted over. And then they just hid the true knowledge of all of this stuff. But listen, and this goes back to the Mayan timekeepers and all of that stuff. Listen. Now, listen to what I'm saying. Beverly is giving a spiritual analogy of someone's DNA. If she's doing that, then it should connect to the stars. Remember, even the tribe that was in Africa, they connected to a star. They connected it to a constellation, Ceres, all of these different constellations in the sky. So if someone's giving you a spiritual DNA of you, then they should be connecting it to the Lyran constellation, the Orion constellation, Draconian constellation. It should have a connection to the universe, because even the Mayans, the Aztecs, all of them believed that they were star seeds from these different constellations. So that's why I'm telling y'all this. They're giving out false information. These are false lights that they want to paint. They want to paint Jaguar out to be a false light. These are energies that are in all of us, right? Let's keep listening, because there's more. There's more. Let's listen to the Mayans keepers. Now, remember, the Mayans is they got the calendar that show you 13, because it's a 13th lunar cycle. It's a count of 13 lunar cycles. So they were saying after the 13th lunar cycle, we'll get a chance to ascend again. So that's why the Mayans calendar was the way it was. See? Now, that right there is deep information. But if we go further, we'll get into the Alpha Draconian and the Palladian wars. The Palladians war with the Alpha Draconians, right? If y'all can still hear it, let me put a 1 in the comment section if y'all can still hear it. Put a 1 in the comment section if y'all still hear it. Okay. Y'all want to take some of the bracelets to the neighbors and stuff and see if they.
We're not going near neighbors.
Oh, y'all just walking to the. Okay. To the lake, to the water. Okay. So when you get into this, and you start realizing, like, oh, so this is about energy, right? Y'all said no audio. Okay. Hold on. I got y'all. I keep forgetting that I gotta share this. I gotta share the whole screen with y'all in order for y'all to see it and hear it. All right, so let's just play it over again because I don't know if y'all heard it.
Pleiadians, also known as Nordic aliens or Plagiaran, are humanoid extraterrestrials that come from the stellar systems surrounding the Pleiades stars in the second harmonic universe. There are both benevolent and negative beings form the Pleiadian system, and they are the primary gatekeepers of the 5D timelines. Most of the benevolent Pleiadian groups have a strict non-interference policy with Earthlings as the result of the consequences of inadvertently contributing to mass upheavals on the Earth's surface that were not intended to interfere with forward spiritual progression and consciousness growth of Earth humans. Due to these destructive events occurring in the previous timelines, all interactions with Earth people are strictly monitored, as the consequences of these previous interactions had generated karmic bonds in which certain groups were not able to evolve any further as a result of these previous events that resulted in destructive timelines. Of the humanoid types of Pleiadians, they appear very similar to Earth humans, but have different variations in height, hair, and eye color. There is a collective group of Pleiadians consisting of beings both focused in bodies and manifesting as light beings, which are channeling information through Barbara Marciniak since the late 1980s.
Now, this is part of all of that, but here you go with the Cherokee part. I don't know if y'all heard this part. Can y'all hear it now? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear it now.
Cherokee legend states that their people originated in the Pleiades and they came to this world as starseeds of light and knowledge. If this legend is so, then modern-day Cherokee Indians, as well as other Native Americans, have Pleiadian genes.
See that?
1.
As
5DRA groups.
Tells you other Native Americans, right? It tells you that the Palladians was star seeds of light and knowledge, right? Star seeds of light and knowledge, right? That means they came in through the light. You know, when they tell you about Jacob's ladder and they say they seen the angels moving up and down Jacob's ladder was your DNA. Jacob's ladder also means to come full circle. It is a reference of the 12 zodiac signs, each holding the heel, because it means heel catcher, right? So each zodiac sign is holding the heel of the next zodiac sign, right? This is our 12 constellational sky that we live up under. Now, once you get into the depths of this, it will tell you, right? The fact that they took it upon themselves to falsify this. They took it upon themselves to falsify this and put Jacqueline Suzette Wright in the ideal image of an ascended master. They tried to put her in an ideal image of an ascended master. Do y'all hear me?
All right, so
they tried to put her in the ideal image of an ascended master. She holds no knowledge. She knows nothing about any of this stuff. And she's sitting there like, I'm not going to argue with y'all. Whatever y'all say is right. And that's the hypocrisy right there. Right?
I'll read this section here. Ascension output. From the very beginning of the session, it was effortless to connect with your essence and tune into your DNA almost immediately.
See? Now, they telling her about essence, but they not telling her about ether. They not telling her about consciousness. They not telling her about the chakra systems that align this stuff. They not telling her about her glands and how important it is to, fast and clean out your vessel and have discipline over your flesh, right? They're not telling her none of this. When your conscious start rising, so does the feelings and emotions of the flesh. It also starts to so you can go in either direction. You know what I mean? You can start going in a lower vibrational direction, which you see that in Jaguar Right. You see that lower vibrational operation. You see her creating a hell or a pit for herself with all the darkness. Even right here in a conversation about spirituality and about her own DNA, she's off the screen or eating, worried about the noodles, worried about eating, right? And the only time any of them actually like had a real conversation was when they talked about farting on somebody's neck. Oh, they had a 45-minute conversation about that. But for the DNA part, they were trying to rush through it and just say some stuff. This is a false light. These are carnal-minded beasts, right? They try to tell you that the fight has to be a physical fight when every real spiritual person know that this is not a spiritual fight. To keep fighting carnal-minded things, oh, we got to take over this. Oh, we got to take. No, we don't. No, we don't. That's not true alchemy. True alchemy is realizing what is, always was, and always will be. True alchemy is realizing as above, so below, as without, so within. True alchemy is not us destroying each other, fighting each other, all of this crazy mayhem, right? You realize, hey, you exist, I exist. Okay, we exist. Once you exist, you can't not exist after that. If we approach this ascension process with fighting, we're going to continue fighting. Someone's going to have the memories of these fights. Someone's going to be, in their feelings about how we move forward from here. If we don't move forward with love, then someone's going to be affected by that. If we don't move forward with unity, someone's going to be affected by that. If we push the adults out, the kids is going to be affected by that. That's going to be stained in their minds. So whatever we do, it's going to alter the future. So why not just operate in love and light? Right? So if we operate in division, we'll continue to operate in division.
Water and air.
But
the
look,
inability to transmute these energies and
see, they talk about the water and air, right? It says the both water and air, right? But they're not mentioning ether. They're not mentioning fire water. They're not mentioning the Yahweh of the vessel, right? This is my look, YouTube. Understand. I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. This is my expertise right here. I dug deep into this. Zachariah Stitchins, emerald tablets, all types of stuff, right? I dug deep into this. So when I seen the manipulation of it, and I caught on to it way before they even started exposing, I caught on to it, right? I said, man, don't tell me they about to try to make, her seem like she's going through the ascension process and she's growing within her consciousness, because that's not true. She's taking the information that she is informed, right? Whatever group that she's a part of, they are informing her with this stuff. Because I promise you, if she herself was holding on to this level of knowledge, there's no way she will be operating in the vibrational frequency that she's operating in. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no way that Jaguar Right will operate in this frequency, because she would know that no negative energy can exist in the Aquarius sky. They would know that the stuff that they putting up there, the wickedness that they got her putting out there, they themselves are hiding from the cosmic law, right? Jaguar Right is trying to figure out, man, why is this happening to the groups that are around me? Why is everything crumbling? Why is it failing? right? It's because they got her doing their wickedness, so she and the people can get their karma as they hide behind her as a shield. And she don't even know it. She can't know it. I know she don't know it because there's no possible way she would be pushing out that much negativity into the atmosphere. If we know that energy is coming from us and we are changing the vibrational frequency with every thought, every word, every deed, right? Then our thoughts, our words, and our deeds are going to reflect good things, right? Now, there's no possible way that she can go out and push this level of negativity without something karmatic happening to her, right? So they know that they're using her as a test dummy. Go out there and see if we can still operate on negative. See, they already know that all this negative operation is failing. They already know the manipulation of our feelings and emotions and our life water. It ain't working like that no more. So the machines that they're using to generate energy are not doing what it. Oh man, why is it not? Why is the magic not happening? It's not because that's what's supposed to happen, right? That all of this is supposed to happen when you're going through a great reset, when you're going through the awakening and all of that. So now our bodies are operating differently. We're wanting to put different things in them. We're not putting the same things in our body no more. We're not thriving on the same things no more. People are not contemplating on wicked thoughts. People are not concentrating on the negative that's in the world. A lot of people are overlooking this negative that's in the world. See, before we was captivated by fear. Before we was captivated by the scary movies. Oh, ooh, did you see that? Ah, ooh. You know, a great PR team will tell you how this world has changed through the eyes of public affairs, however you want to look at it. So we don't give our attention to the same thing anymore, right? We now giving our attention to the internet and so on and so forth. So now they got to make sure that we're in the proper direction where they can program us, right? It's the same thing with Shelly Carter. Shelly Carter is in the mindset of a programmer, right? So she already took 10, 15 years, however many years out of her life to program Ali Carter, right? So she's saying, like, I can't risk her being around someone else because then they will deprogram her, and then I don't know what they will reprogram her with, and I don't know how long it would take to get her back on the program that I have her on, right? This is the mindset of personas who think that they have their level to control mankind. It is egotistical. It's when you're going through your godlike complex. It's a lot of things that you have to fight off. This is why Solomon wrote the 72 demons of the soul of man, because with each level of rising of your consciousness, you're going to have to go through some stuff. You're going to have to go through some stuff. Once the money start coming, the women start coming, you're going to have different thrills. Your thrills start changing, right? When you broke, you happy with being at peace. You know what I mean? When you got money in your pocket, you always want to do something to spend it, and so on and so forth. So a lot of these different personas, they are trapped in this physical world. Yeah, hey, on TikTok, y'all share the live on TikTok. If you got somebody to share the live with, share the live with, right? If you want to continue following the journey, go to YouTube, Ralph the Wise on YouTube. That's Ralph D.A. Wise on YouTube, right? If you ain't got nobody to share the live with, just copy the link. It counts as a share. You know what I mean? Do all the things that you could do on TikTok because TikTok might not be here no more. So you might as well just show up and show out. But yeah, so this is why I'm pointing this out, because I want y'all to deeply understand exactly what they're doing right before our eyes. They know that America has been given another chance. They know that America, however you look at these stories, the first will be the last and the first will be given another chance, however you look at it, right? So I have a question off topic. Can I ask or just chill? Just put your question in there. If I see it, I'll answer it. If you know what I mean. Uh, Right. She's clueless to this. She's going with the materialistic gain. She's going with the profits of trying to live her life out, the way that she wants to live it out. You know what I mean? She's older now. She's think about it. Her organs and everything ain't working the same. She's not, so if she is a succubus, which I believe she is, then the operation is changing. Her whole operation is changing. But when you get back to it, she didn't dig into none of this knowledge herself. She didn't, so therefore she didn't get her Ezekiel wheels turning. There's nothing in her mind that says she ascended because she didn't put this knowledge there herself. This is why even the biblical text said, of all the pharaohs and pharisees, there's none greater than you, talking about the reader. Because when you put knowledge into your brain, when you go out and you search for this knowledge, search for truths and variations of it, you are doing something inside your mind. You're burning chemicals, you're burning, fluids and stuff that's in your brain. It's turning into gases. That gas is building up as like a liquid, and then it's dripping onto your pineal. So unless you're applying this to your life, you're actually not going through an ascension process. That's why it's called a false ascension process, right? They want y'all to think that the ascension process is based off of Jaguar Wright losing her mind and going crazy and creating this, Armageddon outside of herself, because she's not taking the fight within herself. She's not fighting off any of these energies inside of herself. So therefore, what's going to reflect in her reality is a constant battle. Everybody's going to become her enemy, playing chaos, right? So they pick her. They pick her because they know they can manipulate her mind and it'll be playing chaos. Think about it. Jaguar Wright was saying that it was Lucian Grains and so on and so forth that was behind Diddy and Jay-Z. And then all of a sudden she start kicking it with Sean Atwoods and Beverly. And then all of a sudden she's trying to put the Baphomet on Marina Brockovich and talk about, all of that stuff, because this is the manipulation of the mind. This comes from Beverly. Right? Beverly, who's telling them that she's doing witch stuff. Beverly, who's telling them that she's doing off-world stuff. Hey, I remote viewed you. If you look at some of the conversations, whenever they mention Beverly, they make Beverly seem like a god. Like, oh, Beverly's jumping in and out of Ron's body and jumping into Big Hungry Cece's body and all of this stuff. You're like, what? She's doing what? At one point, this was shunned. You can go back to the history of the Salem witch trials, the Boston, you know what I mean? You can go back to the history of this. This type of witchcraft was considered blasphemous, so on and so forth. Now, y'all sitting here listening to people that's practicing this stuff, right? Telling you they actively practicing this stuff. Jaguar Wright telling you she actively practiced witchcraft, then telling you she practiced the Sabbath. If she get around black people, she'll say she's Muslim. If she get around Christians, she's a follower of Yahweh. Like, she's showing you she's a shifter. She's showing you she's an identity thief. She's showing you that she's a sociopath. Like, how much more does she have to show you before it's like, okay, you're right, I got to get away from you? Because everything that she does can only lead to, destruction. Everything that she does, it is planned chaos, because she is, benefiting from the chaos. You get what I'm saying? No one sits there and starts a platform off of straight negative and can't keep on providing that negative. They have to. That's what they build a platform up off of, right? They build a platform up off of controversy, negative. All she did was try to put a bunch of stuff together that she analyzed on the internet. Oh, okay. So people are interested in drama. People are interested in people going at each other. Oh, okay. You look at Christian Rock and how she took off, right? Low vibrational, right? You look at Erica Kane and how she took off on social media, low vibrational, right? You look at Miss Netta, low vibrational, right? You look at come on, y'all can start naming them in the comment section, because I know y'all came across a bunch of low vibrational, entertainment. It is the low vibrational entertainment that they are pushing out there. It is the low vibrational entertainment that they are, that we are giving our attention to. Shannon Sharp is Miss Nat. They do look like the same. You might be right. You might have a point. Shannon Sharp. Yeah, look, Charleston White. You know what I mean? Even that situation with Lil King right now. How you got an 11-year-old doing interviews talking like he grown, beefing with grown ass men. This boy is 11 years old. You know what I mean? He's 11 years old. He's beefing with grown men, going out there having conversations with other grown men about this grown man. You know what I mean? People need to start answering me. People need to start answering you. Okay, I hope they start answering you then. People, y'all need to start answering her. Okay? Start answering her. Madagascar told on herself earlier. She said they're making Satan weaker. Man, listen, the things that Madagascar and them are doing, they think they're making Satan weaker, but they feel that weakness. The reason why they feel that weakness is because they are Satan. You know what I mean? They are. That's why they feel the power. Who says that? Who walks around and says, how you know Satan getting weaker? Who analyzes the power level of Satan? Unless you can feel that shit. And then if you can feel it, then you're a part of it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to analyze that. I'm going to analyze, consciousness, source. That's what I'm going to analyze. You know what I mean? I'm going to analyze, that's what I listen. I could tell you that source is angry. You know what I mean? I could tell you that the universe is angry because we not, understanding that universal oneness, that we're all here together. There's so much more that the universe wants to show us, but can't, because we practice wickedness. We practice the unaliving process. The universe don't practice that. Therefore, it's so much more that the universe can't show us because we're down here just, mauling each other and shit. Listen to Ralph. So why is it you never speak about heaven? Because heaven is a state of mind. Heaven is inside of you. Even the Bible says, seek all knowledge for the kingdom of heaven, for heaven is inside of you. So when you're putting knowledge inside of you, that's what you're creating, a heaven, a kingdom of heaven in your mind. Unless you're creating a kingdom of hell by putting all types of negative stuff in you. You know what I mean? It's a real place because you create it in your mind. Therefore, you are creating a timeline that leads you to heaven with your good thoughts, good deeds, good works, right? So you're creating a timeline that leads you to heaven, right? You can create a timeline that leads you to hell. It's based off of how you're creating your reality. Like, unless you are saying that you enjoy, the things that you're doing, and then you're saying that your ideal heaven is hell, right? So then that's the timeline that you're going to end up meeting up with in the end of it, right? So if you're creating a heaven, then you're going to be, reflecting that heaven that you're trying to get to. That's why it says you'll see a new heaven and then a new earth. Only way we can see a new earth is if we see a new heaven first. So it has to be a state of mind. You have to be in a heavenly state of being before we can reflect that heavenly state. Then we'll see a new reflection of that heaven on earth. But listen to them though. She's not even on the screen. They're trying to explain to her DNA.
Yeah. So it has a lot of sand and sand dunes and things like that. You will see why that is pertinent later when we start looking at some of the connections. The La'an Ta'al Ahel Nur and Latraka Katan on their planet is a particularly large and rather fierce culture. And what we said there is that you may find yourself clenching.
Look, right here. She said they're going to clench
because they do this
clench and
when
grind
they go
their
into
teeth.
battle. So you might find Jack, that you do this clench and this grinding motion when you're ready to have a good go at someone.
This is bull crap. This is bull crap. Listen, you sitting here telling her that the idea of going at someone, getting aggressive, using that low, that angry energy when you're getting ready to go at someone, you might have a clenching of a teeth. That's anybody that's mad. That's anybody that's angry. You're going to clench your teeth. That's why they give you mouthpieces when you fight, or when you playing football and stuff like that. You biting on the mouthpiece. Some people grind their teeth when they sleep. She's giving you a physical idea of something that's more spiritual and of a different dimension, right? That's what she's giving you. She's trying to give you a physical analogy of physical, right? She's putting these things in a physical idea, right? The same thing they did with the Bible, right? They gave you a physical walk through the body, the same thing the Council of Nicaea did, right? The Council of Nicaea, due to Constantine was told to trick them about the ascension journey, make it a physical, like it's a physical walk instead of an internal walk through the body, right? Because if you look at the Masonic book, if you look at the Muslims books, they tell you it's a mental conversation of the body. If you look at the Jewish book, it is a spiritual conversation about the body, right? So if you look at the Christian book, it is a physical conversation about the body, right? Now, they manipulate it and make you think that this journey is taking place outside of you. That's what they're doing, making you think that this stuff is outside of you. And Jaguar White, she's just oblivious. She just sitting there like, yup, I'm not going to argue with y'all. I'm not going to argue with you. That's the saddest shit ever to me. Somebody's telling you about your DNA. The people that's telling you about your DNA, their DNA don't stretch back as far as your DNA, according to biological history, right? The DNA of the people that's sitting there telling Jaguar Wright about her DNA. This is where identity thieves come in. This is where the false timeline comes in. This is where the falsity of our history comes in. She's taking someone else's story and putting it on herself. The history of the blood goes back further. That's not even considering the energy, the essence, the hue that is inside of us, right? But how can they tell you about something that stretches further back than their 1600 creation from the Caucasus Mountains? That's the hypocrisy of this. That's the asinine and most redundant thing. These people can't, even if they do go through the ascension process, they can't, their Akashic records won't give them as much knowledge as someone who can illuminate the light. When you can take in the light of the sun and you go through a form of photosynthesis, the plants go through photosynthesis, but humans go through solar synthesis, right? So when you can take in a form of solar synthesis, it activates certain things in your DNA. Not everybody DNA can activate as much as some other people DNA. Copper colored people, they take in a lot more of the sun than darker or lighter colored personas. Why? Because we are accepting of all the colors of the light. We're not blocking out certain colors. See, some people block out certain colors by not putting things in their body, by not fasting properly, so on and so forth, or by not balancing, what is considered light and what is considered dark. These are energies. These are energies inside the vessel. When you create a balance with inside yourself, you'll realize the union of both, right? These are master manipulatippers. Thank you. Yep, that's what they is. They're master manipulatippers. They gonna rewrite history according to the mess that they want, which is chaos, anarchy. Oh, when you're going at somebody and giving them a good whopping, ain't nobody whopping nobody, witch.
Because that is part of this ta'al. these peoples, when they're ready and they're ready to go forward and move as a warrior, they clench the teeth. And you'll find that their teeth are all dead straight, they're all in a straight line, and they're flat on the top. And that's because wherever you go on their planet, because of the winds, the sand is chucking up. And as they're eating, as they're doing things, there's just sand everywhere. So they will get some of the sand in their food, unfortunately. The frequency then, the presence of strong rooted energy, combined with the mystical, otherworldly elements, signify a guardian or an emissary for planetary healing and for spiritual evolution.
Now, is this like her guardian who's standing over her, did you say, Astra?
Look, listen to them.
So there is the DNA there, but certainly, as I said, as
it's the DNA. So now you got the DNA of the guardian. Look, so now you got the DNA of the guardian that's standing over her. Oh, there is some DNA there, but the
to get I said Beverly's input because I couldn't quite make out the detail, but certainly
this is their drawing. This is what their drawing of her, their idea of her, right? What the hell? Yo. Why? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Why one of my TVs just go off and come back on? Like, why one of my computer monitors just go out and then come back in? What the hell was that about? I be saying that somebody's be messing with my yeah, I got 3 monitors in front of me. One of them just went off and then it just came back on. See? Look, it just did it again. Y'all can still hear me? My monitor just went off again. Nah, somebody playing. Somebody got like a remote facing it to my house and messing with shit. I promise you. This ain't even making no sense. All my outlets are good. All my stuff is plugged up. Yeah, we energy. That's what we got to get back to. Remembering that light, remembering that energy. See? Now 2 monitors just went off and came back on. What the freak? Yo, it's got to be a ghost in this house or something. It's something in here with me. It ain't like the lights are flashing in the house. It ain't like the outlet is going off. It's just happening like right here at my screen. Like, is that you, Beverly? Beverly, is you remote viewing me? Let me know now. If that's you, just go ahead and turn the monitor off again. Yeah, because you know I've been looking for you, Beverly. Yeah. You know I've been looking for you, Beverly. I've been in the astro plane searching for you. You will not break this ascension process. You will not lie about this ascension process. They think they can keep on manipulating the ascension process. You know? They think they can keep on manipulating it. That's why they put people out there like Jaguar, right? That's why they give us these false images like her.
Amazingly large beings. So there is that connection to the DNA as well. So that's why a few of these maybe characteristics and that come out. But you guys definitely sort of work as a pair and work as a team.
So from that warrior side, from the warrior side, then Jack, with this type of warrior type person, when you were young, it would have meant that you would have had a lot of scraps and a lot of arguments, and it's probable being a warrior type.
Look at the falsity. They're basically justifying her anger, her rage, all the stuff that she got into. Oh, you probably got into a lot of fights. You probably you looking at her criminal record. You looking at her history. You looking at the fact that she been in and out of jail. You looking at her. You probably got into a lot of fights. People didn't understand you. You probably this is bull crap.
Extraction with that DNA encoded in you.
But look, they'll also turn around and say you probably got along with everybody in the room that you walked in. You probably was just this is how they lie to you in the same sentence and tell you the truth. Like,
didn't I just tell y'all about how I used to fight when I was a kid?
No, dear, tell us about it. Did you used to grind your teeth and go in and give him a good smacking?
I still do. I had that whole experience last night.
Okay.
Before I was forced to lay down and go into a very deep meditative state to prepare.
That means Wolf Coochie knocked their ass out. She said I had that same experience last night before I was forced to go into a deep meditation. Oh shit. That means Wolf Coochie done hit you with the boom shakalaka. Go to sleep. Because he got that erectile dysfunction, so he didn't really like.
For what I knew was coming. And they kicked my ass all damn night.
No.
Sure did.
Well, maybe you need to get more of your fisticuffs ready so that you can go in and really just fight back, which is good. Because you have some backup now and some protection. So we'll just make sure we activate all of your DNA so that you've got your peace with you.
Look at what Beverly told her. Beverly told her that we'll make sure that we activate all of your DNA so you'll have your peeps with you. Listen to the now Beverly's going to keep her posted on when her DNA is activating. Oh, Jaguar, we're coming through with another activation of your DNA. We need you to take out this person. Listen to this. This is madness. This is all bollocks.
Yeah, we'll wait for you to get back for the next section, Jack. Don't worry.
He's off to do the noodles again. So in some cultures, they do think that the flattened teeth and the grinding. Sometimes they say that means parasite or parasitic infection. Bearing in mind that's more of a human issue. That these individuals on a different planet, they wouldn't have a similar issue to the issues that we have with parasitic infections on Earth.
Now, listen to what she's saying. She's telling you that these species on other planets will not. How do you know? You visit these planets, you went to these planets, because if you did, you would understand the energy and the operation. In fact, you would be in operation of whatever it is that you are in that dimension, because we're multidimensional beings sharing a human experience, right? So there's no way that she can transfer herself to another planetary location, right, without having a avatar on that location already, right? So what she's saying is falsified within itself. What she's saying is falsified within itself. Oh, they don't grind their teeth. They do something different. They don't have that parasite. That's a human thing. The humans have the parasite that make them grind their teeth. Yeah, it's called cannibalism. Yeah, it's called stop eating meat. You got flat teeth because we are vegetarians. You don't got sharp teeth. The universe didn't make us to be meat eaters. That's why the universe gave us flat teeth. I know what y'all thinking. What about our canines? Your canines ain't tearing through no flesh. Okay? We are meat eaters. I mean, I'm sorry, we are vegetarians. That's why our teeth are flat. You look at the dinosaur world, you look at dinosaurs had certain variations of teeth. Even the T-Rex wasn't even a meat eater. They just painted the T-Rex to be a meat eater. That T-Rex teeth was like that because it chewed through bark and stuff.
That wouldn't have the same types of either diagnosis, and they wouldn't be showing the same symptoms as we have with humans. They're two totally different things. So I think we just need to realize that those individuals are really totally different. What I find interesting as well with this is, as you had said about the sand dunes and the connection with the way that the look and feel of the city, the way that it...
See? So she's trying to label Jaguar as an ascendian. So they even trying to give it a new word. She's trying to label Jaguar as an ascendian. But if you look at this lady right here, this lady in the pink, I don't know who she is. She is somebody who tries to think she does like readings and stuff like that. So she gives off these false stories of reading, just like Beverly does, right? Beverly got a whole group of these people where she fake get out crystals and rub them on her hand and stuff like that. That's not how crystals work. You don't get crystals and start rubbing them on your hand. There is a level of protection when it comes with wearing a crystal, putting your energy into a crystal, so on and so forth. You ain't about to use no crystal to rub smuck off your hands. And that's the problem with this. When you're perpetrating it, you don't know the proper symbols. She threw her hand out and started making balls and fists and stuff like that instead of actually doing mantras. All you got to do is look this stuff up, look up mantras, and figure it out. Like add it to your life, right? If you're going to pour a cup of water, talk to that water as you're pouring it. Speak goodness into that water as you're pouring it. That way, when you drink it, you're drinking the goodness of the words that you spoke to that water, because water has memory, right? When you're in your own house, make sure that you're putting out positive conversations. Put cartoons on. Some laughter should be in the air. Even if you ain't got kids, put some laughter in the air from the TV. Don't sit there and watch paranormal activities for 3 damn weeks in a row, wondering why you got suspicious stuff going on at 3:33 in the morning, right? Right. So yeah, so we gotta realize our life water, realize our energy, and start protecting it. Don't keep going to these demonic concerts wondering why you feel like something came home with you. Don't keep going to these demonic parties and all of these low vibrational activities wondering why you feel funny after you went this way and that. Man, oh man. Even if it's church, you can step into a church and walk out with some wicked shit. Not everybody in that church is good. Not everybody in that church got good minds. You know what I mean? You can go in church and walk out with somebody else's wickedness. Like, hold up, that don't belong to me. That belong to Sister Jenkins. You gotta realize, frequency, vibration. This stuff that Jaguar writing them lying about, man, that's wrong. That is wrong. That's just wrong. They lying about this stuff and they sitting here making it seem like they know about this stuff. And that's the saddest thing, because they could have actually looked this stuff up and gave us the truth. They could have gave us the truth. But they decided to find a Jaguar right and manipulate us.
It seems to come and rise.
And is
as Beverly rightly said, the DNA has been activated, but it can be further activated and empowered to help support Jack going forward, because that person, that being is absolutely there. That power is absolutely there. And so yeah, further work can be done to empower that even further.
Well, one thing that was just spotted by somebody in the side chat, and I can confirm this, Jack, you mentioned something about, or somebody asked you about a concert in Dubai, right? That was something that's been, yeah. Well, that was something that was in this report. Just
See, look. Yes, yes, yes. My history goes back to Dubai. Yes, yes. No, the fuck don't. No, it don't. You was lying. I be so mad when they be doing this. It just, ooh, it burns me up. It burns me up when they be doing this. Let's go back. Let's go back to DNA real quick. Let's go back to DNA. All right. Now, your DNA is being affected by the sun. The chemicals that are in your DNA is being affected, right? You have base codes, masculine and feminine codes inside your body, inside your vessel. This goes back to the building of, right? This goes back to the building of your vessel, building of your temple. Your body's the temple. You got to build your temple, put your neutrons back together, so on and so forth. But when you get into the Atlantean timeline, the timeline that they're talking about, right? We lost the battle during that timeline. We lost to the Luciferian rebellions. And I wouldn't say lost because we didn't really lose. We just stopped fighting. We're not the type to keep on. Once you realize something in your mind, fighting will always lead to more fighting. You realize the solution is to just stop doing it, not wanting to do it, right? See, the Draconians and the Luciferians, they didn't come to this realization yet. So they kept fighting, right? And this is where the ascension process comes in and the false ascension process come in. And they're telling her about fallen angels, right? Matter of fact, this is a lot, but I want to play this whole thing for y'all. Okay? Because this is where the NAA, which is the negative alliance, comes in. All right? And I'm going to play it. I'm about to press play. I need to see the ones in the chat to let me know that y'all hear it on YouTube, because I don't know what y'all hearing and what y'all not hearing.
One of the heightened events of enemy patterning buried in our cellular memory history is that of the Luciferian rebellion, which reached its apex during the end of the Atlantean cataclysm root race, human evolution, cycle. From the Guardian perspective, this was the end result of our last aeon or astrological age, approximately 26,000 years ago by our human timeline measurement. What resulted in our Atlantean cataclysm evolution experiment was quite a traumatizing cataclysm that set the events into motion as to what humans would experience in the next aeon cycle. The last 26,000 years have been a dark cycle of evolution and planetary rule. This is the current age of evolution that is now coming to completion now and through 2012. With the recent timeline intersection, a large chunk of this cellular history has been playing out in our hologram and therefore our lives. We are able to complete this enemy patterning now via these new evolutionary intersections. See the ages of humanity. Through the energetic enslavement of the seraphim consciousness, the fallen angelic were bound to play out the program of the Luciferian rebellion as the sons of Belial. And so they played their part as dictated by the planetary grid structures. This was further capitalized by off-planet sources, such as the Anunnaki, who understood what was happening, and many of these negative aliens joined forces. 1. Atlantis timeline. During the Atlantean cataclysm and what is known as the Luciferian rebellion about 26,000 to 30,000 years ago, this is when the planetary star gates, the planetary grids, became controlled by the NAA controlling races such as the reptilians, the Anunnaki, the Draconians. And this grid became, during this time, under the control of these beings who used these grids for reversed purposes from their original design and intent for DNA assemble and progression of the human race DNA synthesis. Not using this from a judgment base, but understanding that this last 26,000-year cycle has been a cycle of a dark age of human evolution and, as a part of the plan here of coming into the seeds of darkness in order to return to the age of enlightenment. I'm sure to a certain degree all of this has been orchestrated as a part of the experiential God beingness we are through having these experiences and through this human experiment, through ascension. This last cycle has been that of a dark age. And, primarily the star gates, portal systems, and grid systems have been under the control of the Anunnaki Nibiru beings and the Draconian beings.
Now, this is where, like, that's why I say, like, they put these false, ascension groups out there. They put these, false personas out there, right? This is where Jaguar Wright comes in. Now, when you hear, and that's why I say you got to pay attention to what they're saying. You got to pay attention to the words, right? If you go back and listen to Shelley Carter, she says, a lot of y'all don't know about the SRA programming, right? The SRA programming is a satanic and Luciferian programming. It is based off of basically fragments of soul fracturing, right? So it's like almost like the Chinese water torture, but it's like based off of, manipulation of the sacral chakra, which is your guilty pleasure. So certain levels of sex, certain levels of disconnection, making you have a baby, taking the baby from you, so on and so forth. All of this stuff plays in the agenda of the SRA, right? The SRA goes back as far as Moloch, right? Moloch is Zechariah Stitchin, so on and so forth. When you go into that, Marduk, Moloch is going back to the sons of Moloch, is going back to the bloodline of Moloch, right? This is a satanic possession and so on and so forth. These different entities, energies down here, they know about this. This is what traps you in the astral plane. This is what traps you, stop you from your spiritual ascension, right? The Phantom Matrix. They use these programmings. It's misery and sexual abuse. These are the programs that they use. It's the black magic programming. This is what Jaguar Wright manipulates. This is why I say you got to pay attention.
The sexual energies can be stolen from the individual without their consent or awareness and used by the black magician or the sexual predator as a pain and pleasure reward system for classical conditioning automatic impulses and addictions that continue to carry out archontic deception behaviors into the human culture. Vaginal or anal rape can yield harvested soul energies that are being siphoned during the act and consequently bound to the perpetrator, which may be human or a demonic entity that has conspired with the human and to further create traumatic soul damage in the child. As that child grows into adulthood without addressing or spiritually healing the sexual trauma, they have the tendency to mentally and emotionally fracture, becoming an adult with dissociative, split, or narcissistic personalities. Many raped children suffer from ongoing spiritual trauma that is generated from the soul bindings made to demonic and satanic entities that can be both human and non-human. The most common soul and FGM in SRA is the demonic altar of Moloch.
Certain words.
The dissatisfaction with the nature of sexuality and the dysfunctional fears that are generated within destructive sexual relations create ding that is used in child
stop
and torment.
Stop. You saying the words too much. You saying the word too much. You keep on saying it. All right. So this is part of that. Of what they use. This is what they do. You can look at Jaguar Wright. This is why I say she's the perfect person to point out, because she exhibits so many traits of a false ascender. She exhibits so many traits of the false process. She literally, she's telling on them. she's like the perfect person to analyze because she's telling on all the lower vibrational entities. If you really learn Jaguar right, you'll learn how to avoid so many low vibrational entities just by her actions and how she carry herself.
From the Guardian perspective, the Abraham blood covenant in organized religion is Moloch programming that is designed to feed the Moloch battery tanks on the astral plane. As an example, a blood covenant is made with the Antichrist forces in the name of Yahweh, who is a false alien god, and to which this transfers the soul binding rights to the Moloch tank during the genital mutilation or circumcision. The blood spilled and foreskin taken from the baby's penis marks a claim on the soul to be bound to serve the Moloch entity, which is further being organized and directed to the Yahweh Collective, an Anunnaki faction of the NAA, that pose as false gods to lure humanity into servitude bindings in the afterlife. God concluded a covenant with Abraham, Gen 15. 18, 17. 2, 7, by which he entered into a special relationship with him and his descendants for all time, and as a sign of this covenant he enjoined on them the rite of circumcision. This Abrahamitic covenant,
See, so this is where the whole foreskin thing comes in. This is where that whole story comes in. This is part of that introduction into the covenant of Moloch in a different form.
Expressive of the religious character of the descendants of Abraham as the people of Yahweh.
Now, this is where her studies come in at. Allison Crawley, the study of thought, right? Sacrificing children, so on and so forth. This is where Jaguar writes. Now, she only know Allison Crawley, right? But she didn't study past that. Past that, you have, thought. And
recently, the Anunnaki, Thothian-controlled grid network, called the Phoenix Grid Spike Site, in the astral plane in the 4D Stargate area of the Cairo, Egypt that feeds on the Golden Eagle grid, which is based in usurped creation code written in Thelema/Ulama, intelligent language pattern, has been made obsolete in certain areas of the planetary circulatory system. This means that critical areas where the NAA controllers siphon human energetic consciousness power and redirect it back into their artificial machinery systems are failing, in the percentage they need to power the global mind control and other NAA systems. Thothian Anunnaki language, based on usurped Enochian language of the original creational God code, the Law of One, was given to Crowley at the turn of the century in order for him to be the human embodiment that was necessary to bring this black magic language into the physical realms, which continued the Atlantean Brotherhood War and its Atlantean conspiracy in this reality system. Crowley was manipulated through his own massive ego of patriarchal superiority, greed, genetic elitism, egomaniacal selfishness and sexual deviance to install a vast circulatory system of ley lines of control for Thothian interests. This is synonymous with defining the structure of satanic forces which run the reversal energies in black magic grids. He was groomed in the United Kingdom, the location of the last of the lost Atlantean colonies from 11,500 years ago, with the government heads, reptilian central leaders, such as Winston Churchill, grooming him to be in special operation for the Black Sun program. And the sons of Belial Black Forces, which were trained in the British Secret Service. He was a primary operative used for directing psychological spiritual warfare in the purpose for mind-controlling Hitler for the Black Sun programs and received much material and earthly power for his cooperation, on multiple dimensions.
Now, see, what y'all are, and they're not looking at this, but Winston Churchill, he had something to do with the Black Sun operation, right? Alison Crawley, and this is why the UK, this is why they tell you about the UK, because that, listen, right? You see who's in operation of Jacqueline Wright. You see that, Shane Atwoods and them are in the UK and they're playing a great role of manipulating energy by getting her to put everybody in a frustrating or angry or combative type of energy, right? You pay attention. I just want y'all to pay attention. Okay? This is why she mentioned Alex Crowley so much.
Aleister Crowley was contacted in Cairo, Egypt in 1904 by negative gray reptilian aliens, IWAS, to begin his indoctrination to support the negative alien agenda. He was instrumental infiltrating the secret societies where he gave consciousness tools, rituals, and artifacts to the Illuminati. This began the human history of black ops, shadow government, the military-industrial complex which shared negative alien technology in exchange for human souls, human abduction, and genetic mutation experiments. In most cases these souls were ritualized and bound in the Thothian black magic grids to entrap them so they could be siphoned.
Now, this is where like the loose energy, because the Masonic, the Mason groups and stuff like that, they also got involved, because this is where loose come in at. This is why they play the whole fear game with us, because when you're in a fearful state of mind, your body produce this fight or flight chemical that they actually use. This is where siphoning comes in at, so on and so forth. But let's keep listening so you can understand where Jaguar Right Alliance lies.
Transcript. Because it was a Crowley birthday yesterday, October 12th, and many Satanists pay homage to him on that day, I will talk about why Crowley is synonymous with all black magic, black sex magic, and pedophilia. It was this man that brought Satanist architecture through powerful Atlantean technology and Thothian books at the turn of the century, and he was given the information in Cairo by the NAA reptiles by his then possessed wife Rose. Shortly after, she killed herself and they knew he would psychologically break from the power he was given over others, and he did. Insanity and power consumed him and he was responsible for laying the Satanist architecture into the planetary logo's body and planetary heart chakra. All Satanist activity on the planet feeds into grids Crowley is responsible for. This Phoenix Grid Network is a subsidiary feed line into the UK Nephilim Reversal Grid NRG and the Golden Eagle Grid. The Phoenix Grid Network piece shown, for now, and is where Crowley went, personally tracing his steps back through time, is a 45-degree pyramidal triad from UK/London through Belgium, Germany into Iran Gate 10th Gate. The bottom then slides east into the Cairo wormhole and back up into the UK Gate. From Cairo moving down vertically into Africa is a massive feed line being agitated into Uganda, Rwanda, Zimbabwe, all the way down to the tip of South Africa. South Africa tip has had a 3D timeline frequency fence put into the land mass/energy system, and this is to incite more of the 3D frequency fence mind control enslavement and to instigate fear and pain in the vertical line moving north-south to throw off the Great White Lion Elohim system. Alpha Draconis/Orion Group.
So Lee lines are laid out under it, actually are chakra systems. So what's inside your body, it's called chakra systems. But outside of the body, you would call these Lee lines. They're laid out frequency waves that, some crystals up under is operating, so on and so forth. The UK, through the form of Cleopatra's needle, is pushing a lot of low vibrational energy through the Lee lines, and using different variations of personas to put them in low vibrations. But this is what a Lee line is. So there's 144. This is where the manipulation of the text comes in at. The tree grid comes in, right? This manipulation comes in with all of this history and the knowledge of it. And this is where also Constantine manipulated what was the 144. The 144 is the 24 chakra systems of the body and the 120 Lee lines of the planet, which makes up a total of 144 will awaken. So when it says the 144 will awaken, it's talking about the chakra systems inside our body and the Lee lines of the planet awakening.
The idea of the Earth as a geometric shape goes back in history at least to the Pythagorean school of thinking in ancient Greece. Its famous adherent, Plato, wrote that the earth, viewed from above, resembles a ball sewn from 12 pieces of skin. Grid description: the octahedron, tetrahedron, icosahedrons, and the dodecahedron, Platonic solids, complete the global grid. This information was put together by husband and wife team Becker and Huygens. However, this is an ancient source of information known by many mystery schools through the ages. William Becker is a professor of industrial design at the University of Illinois, Chicago, and Beta Huygens is a professor of anthropology at Governors State University. This husband and wife team shows how these shapes worked into the ultimate Earth grid, which they call the Unified Vector Geometry 120 polyhedron or the UVG 120 Earth star. Becker and Hagen ascribe this discovery to the work of Ivan P. Sanderson, who was the first to make a case for the structure of the icosahedrons at work in Earth. Sanderson located what he refers to as the Vile vortices. These vortices are areas of the Earth where mysterious disappearances, mechanical failures, and time-space distortions were seen to occur. Many explorers disappeared if they crossed over the vortices at the wrong time of year, with the wrong lunar and planetary alignments activating those particular areas. During the times of Atlantis and possibly even earlier, the entire Earth's coordinates were mapped out by the construction of the different pyramids, temples, and earthworks on the Earth's surface. These were known as the maps of the ancient Sea Kings. It was these maps that lead Sanderson to work on the Earth grids. After the last pole shift 12,500.
Now, once again, this is going back to the understanding of the law of oneness, right? These different grids that are taking place is an energy flow thing, right? So when you see like the lion grid or you see like the golden eagle grid, this is the flow of energy that is moving through the planet. So this is the way the energy is flowing through the planet. Now, they used to have a way where we actually had a higher level of respect for the energy. We actually knew about it. Therefore, we treated it as such. Even the passing of the energy, like every 26,000 years, we're supposed to pass this to the next so said constellation and so on and so forth. This is how the cycle works. But when you put a massive amount of entities out there that is of a lower vibration, and this is where the negative begots negative. This is why we are influenced by so many different negative energies right now. Like that's why they all seem to have multiplied. They all seem to be like in their narcissistic mind. Like you see so many of them, you're just like, what the freak is going on? Like, did I drop down into a different world? What's going on? Why is everybody seem to be acting like they God, but telling you that you not God? So it's very complicated in this day and age right now.
Ascension, also known as spiritual awakening, is a simultaneous increase of expanding consciousness that occurs when our spiritual energetic bodies connect into our physical bodies. Generally, the catalyst for spiritual awakening is discovered through the process of progressive Kundalini activation that starts in the base of our spine and moves the intelligent energies up the spine and into the crown. As a human being undergoes the awakening process, which can progress gradually over many years, that person shifts into perceptions of higher consciousness, which can include increased awareness of energy in the environment, perceiving multidimensional realities, sensing extradimensional entities, and feeling a direct communion with God and the interconnected energy that exists between all things.
You see, this is why Jaguar Wright is the perfect false specimen, because she's going to play along with all of these things that they're going to manipulate in her mind. And whoever controls the mind controls the spirit, right? So when they start manipulating these different variations of conscious, this wave of energy, that's why they telling her like, oh, don't worry, we're going to activate all your 12 strands of DNA and we're going to get that going, because they're going to be placing these programs using her.
Ascension is a change in spectrum of frequency through Kundalini awakening and a change in the focus of our consciousness. Ascension is about moving our consciousness from one reality to another. Since reality is a dimension, what we are undertaking is essentially a full dimensional shift. To go through this shift, we must adjust our way of thinking and being to that which is in alignment with our soul purpose and true divine essence.
Now listen to that.
Ascension is
Listen to that. It said when you go through the ascension process, it is to align our thinking and our state of being, right? It is to align our thinking and our state of being to our soul's purpose and our true divine essence, right? So if they're saying that Jaguar Wright is going through the ascension process or aligning herself with her true nature, then her true nature is of wickedness. Her true nature is of a low vibration. Her true nature is of destruction, right? Because that's all she's exhibiting. If someone's true nature is of love, light, and unity, you'll see that reflection in them. There's a reason
is the
why
complex quantum mechanics governing the movement of
her.
consciousness through time and space. Consciousness is energy, as well as energy is intelligent consciousness. When energy shifts, so does our consciousness. Time and space as we have known on planet Earth is changing, and we are moving into a future timeline. Through gradual exposure to frequency activation of various stellar bodies, the planet is transformed into higher dimensional and frequency planes of existence. One can consider the multidimensional model of our reality through the study of the universal time matrix and the universal tree of life. The shift of frequency forces all of the planetary inhabitants to shift into the newly exposed planetary frequencies and adapt to the accumulative impact of the shifting energies. All humans have a unique blueprint and pace to keep aligned with the planetary frequencies. Some will adapt to these frequencies while embodied on planet, while others may not. The choice lies with each of us and is directly our responsibility. We can participate or not with our personal evolution process. All that is required from the ascension process is participation at the level you are able, and that attention and focus is placed on one's heart with a desire to know the true self. As we develop self-awareness, which is the knowledge of the self, we are developing the right relationship to the self, and thus we can better develop our relationship with God's source. We cannot know the highest expression of our nature until we know the deepest inner contents of our own being. Self-study is self-mastery and is the pathway to expanding consciousness and awakening Kundalini.
Now, see, there's no possible way you gonna fool me and tell me that this is an awakening Kundalini. She's sitting there grubbing on a sandwich, eating noodles, while they telling her some important shit about her soul and her spirit and her consciousness. And she's sitting there like, I don't got nothing to say. I'm going to just sit here and eat these noodles.
With their main homeland in the center
I
resembling.
also have friends and
Yeah.
colleagues that live in that region.
And it's kind of it's interesting because
look,
like I say, it's
chomping on noodles,
navigating the realms of dreams and astral
eating
projection,
noodles.
whether consciously or unconsciously, you send messages
She
of
is
love.
she is not listening to what they saying. She said they telling her whether consciously or unconsciously you sending messages, you have the ability to get along with everybody in the room and the ability to break. You just now told her that I bet you had to fight your whole life. I bet you fought everywhere you went. And now you saying she got the ability to control the room, calm everybody down, and so on and so. Y'all is manipulating us. Y'all manipulating us. Y'all put all these fake images of black people on the screen, and y'all think that y'all telling her about her blackness. This is manipulation at its highest level right here. When you start manipulating people's spirit through their mind.
Of guidance and healing through the dream time, leaving and lasting an impact on those you touch. Your dream work transcends the limits of the physical world, connecting you to others on a soul level, e.g., steering people away from Rainbow Room.
Yeah, who wants a person like that running loose?
Yeah.
See? Look at her. This is downright disgusting. Yeah, who wants a person like that? Because she is operating in her feelings. You got to remember when this took place, this is when me and Danat first started on her. So she was in her. She kept on referring it back to YouTubers. Like, yeah, nobody has to listen to me. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with y'all. Shoot, they running around on YouTube attacking me left and right. I ain't got nothing to say with y'all. Y'all seem like the only place I can go that'll let me lie and get your ass out of here.
Well, what do you feel up until this point? I mean,
Look, she don't feel nothing.
Like you guys are finally explaining to these people that I'm something different.
Look.
Well, this is it. Okay, wise and introspective. You have forever been a philosopher, a seeker of deeper truth, with the wisdom and knowledge you
Look at
inspire
her.
others to reflect on their journey, guiding them towards understanding and enlightenment. You naturally illuminate the path for others to follow. Okay, harmonious and peaceful, like a freight train, right? Like harmonious and peaceful, like a freight train. You are a beacon of balance. Your commitment to harmony resonates through every interaction, uplifting those around you, relationships, your community, and beyond. I mean, I think
that is a full-fledged lie.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Do not
just listen to this.
Hide in plain
and look who pop up. The other person who did the DNA test. Big Hungry CC. Big Hungry CC pop up. Oh, I did my DNA test too. I sent it off.
Hey,
they're Decepticons. These are Decepticons. Listen, these are Decepticons. Okay.
New way of being for all.
Look
Your
at
mission
her.
is
She's
one of
eating
immense
noodles.
truth. You choose to be here to walk this earthly path, to assist humanity in its spiritual evolution. You guide others towards higher consciousness, helping them to create space within themselves for inner peace, self-discovery, and a life rooted in love.
Look at her. She's like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, y'all don't know me at all.
Yeah, right.
Look, she telling them right to her face. They're telling her about her, and she's really laughing at them. She said, y'all don't know me at all. She's really talking to them.
Preserving the cosmic balance while spreading wisdom. You are a beacon of light, frequency, and energy that inspires spiritual growth in all who come across your path. Your wisdom flows naturally, guiding others to their journey, guiding them on their journey.
When did she do any of that?
Finally tell them all I'm an alien.
Look.
I not want to know. And watching people trying to convince them. Me. Isn't that how it works?
They have no idea what she's talking about.
I don't understand why everybody's so focused on being mortal. It is so great.
Listen, I completely agree.
You want to be less than you be less. I know what I am. Hell, I'm pissed off with myself because I got stuff inside of me I should have been unlocked. Like you wouldn't even be having these problems. I could just think and make all of you two disappear. I'm behind schedule, man. I'm ready to take all of this show on the road. Tell them who I am. I'm gonna eat these noodles.
Yeah, absolutely. So
think about that. What spiritual person says, I should just blank and get rid of all of you? Come on, man. This is demonic
as well, but with this particular being.
She just keep going off eating the whole time, eating.
I'm sure you can do that. Make a decision.
Or nothing less. Whatever I am, whatever my energy is, it has been here for much longer than I've ever been here.
Look.
Which one do you want? It's all a choice.
The lies.
It's a choice.
I'm trying to get to the
things like that. We actually have an entire civilization of the amphibians actually living in our seas here.
Look, an entire civilization of the amphibians living in our seas. Listen to her. Listen to her. Now she want to tell us that we got, some amphibians that's living in our seas that are aquatic, like
on our planet. And they do come up every now and again. And sometimes
it's called sirens.
Stories from our men of the sea.
They call sirens.
It's just funny to
traveling. I've done so little travel.
Why not claim your own land? Why?
Tell you something. I don't know why everyone has to bring Taylor Swift in there.
age restriction.
Fantasies about getting a massive perm. It's like a real fact.
Look,
Like,
the only time she participated
before I was being released after.
the only time she participated in the conversation is when she's talking about this lady farting on her neck.
That I was sane and confident and able to leave. They had this woman named Crazy Alice from South Dallas, and she called herself.
Hold on. Wait, you can't just whip out Crazy Alice from South Dallas and not expect me to react to that.
Look,
Okay? Just give
look
me
at
a
her. Look, he laughing at anything. He laughing at man.
Oh,
They,
bet she did.
Yeah, her rap name was MC Cupcake. So
Crazy Alice from South Dallas.
yeah, aka Princess Cupcake. So, you know, she was doing all kinds of strange things with adult diapers, you know, just like she was always pushing the line. So anyway, I'm sitting in the day room and I'm reading Bible and I'm, you know,
I think they related.
It's time to go back to my room. And so, you know, I'm sitting down and she runs up, lifts her leg, farts on my neck. And then she says, "Shots fired!" And just runs off.
Shots fired. Okay. You know for a fact, right? Someone is watching this who's going to get drunk with the boys, okay? Is going to sit up, let one rip in like their little brother's face, look them dead and in the face and be like, shots fired! The pink eye is going to spread this December. Yeah.
The only reason I wasn't forced to stay for
This is the greatest. This is the greatest part of the conversation to them right here. Was this carnal-minded, low vibrational, disgusting thing right here?
She put in the shots fired line. You know, as someone who has a very comedic life, that was the part that stunned me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because I'm like, did you just fart on my neck with a pencil in your cookie? This is a fucking record.
Oh yes. Oh God. Shots fired.
It was an MC Cupcake that came up with the line.
First it was MC Cupcake, then it was Princess Cupcake. Listen, you know she lying. Look, you know she lying. It went from Princess Cupcake to MC Cupcake. She lying.
Crazy Alice from South Dallas.
Yeah. AKA Princess Cupcake.
AKA
So,
Princess
you know,
Cupcake.
doing all kinds of strange things.
It was MC
Adult
Cupcake.
diapers, you know, just like life. That was the part that stunned me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because I'm like, did you just fart on my neck with a pencil in your cookie? This is a fucking record. You know? Tupac is my friend, the drinking game.
Good. Right. From South Dallas on this.
And music.
Joke.
Oh yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's just too funny for words.
Look, and then Beverly follows up and says, in my house, I was the fart champion. So I'm definitely going to fart on somebody's neck this Christmas. Listen to this shit.
It's just
Well, they're used to it because I used to win all the farting competitions in my family. So take it out of that, guys.
South African Christmases, they just do it different, guys. They just do it different out in South Africa, all right?
It goes down.
Hell yeah. So,
Well, guys, I don't know how much more time you need.
Y'all having fart contests?
That they're just not seeing because they're blind to them.
Australia, who won?
And she had to hurry up and get out of there. You know, she can only stay still for so long. But just think about that. I want y'all to really think about that. Like, that was the most energy that they put into a spiritual conversation was when they talked about fart contests and farting on somebody's neck and how they all going to do it this Christmas. They're going to find a neck to fart on this Christmas. These are people that's supposed to be ascendant masters. I mean, listen, if you're telling me about my DNA, then obviously you already went through the ascension process, so you should be carrying yourself a lot better. You telling me that the people that's running around farting on each other's neck is telling you about you better than you? Nah, I'm not going to believe that. All right. Not gonna believe it. But listen, I gotta get something to eat. I got some salmon to cook. So I gotta go cook this salmon and some rice, probably some corn. And you know, I'll probably get back on. I'll probably be playing the game. So if y'all see me back on and y'all come in and I'm playing the game, y'all better stick around. Y'all better not leave. If y'all see me playing the game, y'all better not leave. We could talk about Jaguar and play the game.